it's becoming like a bit of a meme. Like, we are becoming a caricature of ourselves. There is a plan here, right?
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily or twice daily series here on the channel where I reflect on all the talking points around football media speaking about Chelsea, our beloved footballing institution. That's got a lot going on, I must say. And we here in football fandom are trying to figure out what the ruddy heck is happening. And in today's video, I want to talk about Chelsea closing this deal for a striker from Aston Villa, not named John Duran, but costing around £19 million. 19. Yannick, you couldn't get Ollie Watkins for that little? True, because it's some kid called Amari Kellyman. Yeah, I don't know either. This is significant investment as well. Hold on, let me take my sweater off. Already, I'm sweating my gonads off in the office with these studio lights on me. Yeah, already, look, Jesus Christ. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to talk about this kid. We're also going to talk about the fallout from Michael Olise, because there was head loss all around the platforms of social media and beyond, and we'll talk about that. This striker, by the way, so Chelsea aren't getting Olise, he's going to Bayern Munich, big club money, we'll talk about that. But Chelsea is still going to buy two attackers, a winger and a striker. Now, when we say, and this is from Fabrizio Romano, and though he's been caught out a few times recently, he's still got good information. And a wide attacker, okay, we're looking at Olise, we're going to get someone else instead, fine, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. Well, that oil mark on my freaking t-shirt. God damn, I could just never have nice things. And then a striker. But is the striker going to be this 18-year-old Villa youth product? Surely not. I mean, it can't be. We're going to find out, hopefully, at some point. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content, as always. You can do that simply by dropping a like and subscribing. Hit the bell if you subscribe, because we are closing in on 185,000 subs. We're creeping up there. We're doing it together. All right, so we'll end on the striker, an article from David Ornstein. Let's talk about this Olise fallout. Then I went on Alex Goldberg's playback stream last night. I've guested on that a couple of times. It's pretty fun. I love talking to Alex. And he really wanted, I don't know if people follow him on X, formerly known as Twitter. He really wanted Olise, a huge advocate of the signing, and he was very frustrated, understandably. We spoke about that. Context is where I wanted him. If you watch the channel, you'll know that I wasn't, necessarily thinking this should be a priority signing, but then I sort of, the more think about it, right, well, if we're going to play Cole in the 10, he's a great opportunity, he's a great player to have on the right. Of course, it would cost a lot of money, and I was into it. And of course, there was seemingly briefings from Chelsea about Operation Olise. We're obsessed with him. I'll repeat here what I said on Goldberg's stream, that I feel like that may have been... I don't think Chelsea will mind too much about the optics of being publicly obsessed with a player than not getting him. I think when that kind of stuff is briefed, it's just a ploy, like a tool. Like, okay, yeah, we're going to try and get Olise. Let's say we really want him, let's brief this. But, I can't imagine it's the be-all or end-all when that happens. It's just like, obviously the optics, if you keep doing that to every player you want to sign, we're obsessed with him, we can't stop thinking about him, we love him, and then you just keep missing out. You look like a knobhead, right? But maybe they just roll the dice and say, yeah, let's put this out there, let's brief this, let's test the waters, let's see what the fans think, let's see what the media reacts, let's see if this makes the player and the agent and the family feel more valued. This kind of stuff, I feel like it's all part of the game. And they won't care that it looked bad, they'll just carry on doing their jobs, hopefully, But, yeah, so people are really upset. And look, man, I did react to it yesterday. Ultimately, this is just how football gets you. It's a shiny toy that can play at the highest levels, trending upwards, and Bayern Munich won him, and he might have come to Chelsea, and, he would have come to Chelsea over Man United, but which is fun. That's all fun. But the truth is, you have to, once the situation is, concluded, and by all accounts it is, he's going to Bayern Munich. you have to look at the facts. Fact number one, and the most glaring fact, he is not a priority position. In fact, it was becoming a bit of a joke how Chelsea were going to buy another left-footed right-sided attacker, when really they need to massively sort out other parts of the pitch. You know, Twomey of The Athletic often wrote about it jokingly, like, what's happening? And I sort of had that position as well, but I took myself around just because it was a great opportunity signing, in theory. So he wasn't a priority signing, and he would have cost a lot of money. We're not talking Noni Madueke here. We're not talking Nico Jackson money here. We're not even talking Cole Palmer money, which is a wicked deal in hindsight. We're talking, more than all of that. So it would have been a significant investment. That's 2. 3 is breaking the wage structure for a young player who's just come in. Now, the wide reports are suggesting that Chelsea don't have an issue of paying big wages eventually to a player, but not just after they've signed him. Not giving Lukaku 325k a week, not giving Raheem Sterling 300k a week, not giving even like Kai Havertz and Timo Werner 250k a week. Yes, you're good, and you will get that wage somewhere in the world of football in Europe because you're good, but until we know you're going to do that good here at Chelsea, here in this country, this league, this team setup, this tactics, this coaching staff, when we've seen you do that there, then you can start chipping up to it. But to offer that guaranteed money early doors is not the way anymore. And I kind of endorse it, and I've been calling for it long before Roman Abramovich left Chelsea, the incentive-based contracts. Because I use the example all the time of Harry Kane. He wasn't on a massive basic, but he made bank because he scored ridiculous amounts of goals consistently. And I made this point yesterday to Alex. I said, look, not only is it financially sensible for a club to do that, an incentive-based contract, but it actually makes the player better. Because Harry Kane, right, he spent all his best developmental years at Tottenham with this wage structure. I'd argue if he was just somewhere else on this like basic strong wage, maybe he wouldn't have had that same drive to constantly make more money and do as well as possible. Even if it was just incremental, that little less drive from that 10-year period, then he might not be, he might be 30% less of the player he is. It's these kind of things that in any line of work, any line of life, business, should I say, this is what, pushes you not just to make more financial gain, but to be better at your job. I've been calling for this for a long, long time. So, yeah, it's a long-winded way of talking about the wage structure, the wages, and coming in and, what, do we sign Michael Olise, who we know is good in the Prem, and he would have probably just been fine at Chelsea because he's a unique case. But do you say, right, we're just going to sign Olise and give him 3 times the wages Cole Palmer's on off the bat? And we don't know how he's going to and he might be injured straight away. He's got a big injury record. Let's make that 4. That's a bit of copium, but do you know what I mean? So wages that. In 5 as well, the alternative clubs he's gone to. If he went to Man United, I'd hate it. Man United would have given him the bank. Actually, maybe they wouldn't have under the new stewardship of Ineos, who want to also emulate what Chelsea are doing in many ways in terms of structuring. But old Man United would have just given him Jadon Sancho money. But he probably would have done well, and it would have sucked to see him ball out of Man United just as a rival fan. He's not doing that, and he's going to Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? He's going to buy. I know, look, man, you've got to kind of look. Again, an example. I think I said this in my video yesterday. Here, I think I said it on Goldberg stream. But if it was 2021, we just won the Champions League, yeah. Which we did. If a player chooses to go to Bayern Munich over us, I'm like, yeah, fair play. Do you know what I mean? Fine. It's Bayern Munich. Let alone this complete hard reset that we've gone through these last 18 months, 2 years, when we're right, we're just going to go through a lot of pain to rebuild and just start from the bottom up. And just having to convince players through projects. Now that, actually for some young players, that will be more alluring than the old Chelsea, because it's we're nurturing your future and going to build around you. But, it's not like Chelsea were challenging for titles, we're always in the Champions League. But even then, I'd understand if a player chose to go to Bayern Munich over us. That's just reality, bro. Bayern Munich are footballing royalty. Chelsea are an elite European club, but I wouldn't say we're footballing royalty, You've got to have a little bit of reality here. So there's a bunch of things in looking in retrospect. Ultimately, right-sided left-footers, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Amari Hutchison, Angelo Gabriel, Willian Estevao has been confirmed again who's coming, who will go into the first team. Kendry Paez, he's left footer, he can play in the middle or the right, he will go in the first team. It's not a problem position. It's okay. I loved Olise. I would have made an exception for the fact how he's not a main target, but the truth is it's easy to just take a breath because of all these reasons. And he's going to Germany. He's not going to like a Man United. Football therapy, ladies and gentlemen. Giving you copium. Right, so we are going to talk about this striker that's come from absolutely ruddy nowhere. Matt Law originally broke the news this morning, but The Athletic followed up by David Ornstein, and that's what I'll be citing today. Chelsea are close to an agreement with Aston Villa to sign 18-year-old forward Omari Kellyman. A deal is expected to be struck for around £19 million. Let's just round up 20 million quid for an 18-year-old. That is incredible. The finer details need to be finalised between the two clubs and the player, and Kellyman will need to undergo a medical and agree personal terms before a deal can be complete. Kellyman joined the Villa Academy from Derby in 2022 and broke into the first team in 2023. Okay, so he broke into the first team when he was 17, I guess. The deal is £1 million less than £20 million Chelsea paid to sign teenage midfielder Carney Chukwuemeka from Villa the summer previously. Okay, so pause on that quickly. I think Carney Chukwuemeka for 20 million quid is totally fine. Many of you might be shocked to say that. I think Carney is an absolute baller and can operate at Premier League level, and 20 million will look like an absolute snip for him. Yes, he might not be the Chelsea starter and we might end up selling him or whatever, but the truth is, in isolation for that sort of attacking midfielder, for quite a unique profile in Chukwuemeka, he's kind of tall, but he's really technical and plays the ball really well in tight spaces. I've got no problem with Carnes for 20 million. If he's another version of that, then maybe. But the thing is, you think of your Datro Fofanas, your David Washingtons, and... You know? What's happening here? Kellyman actually made 2 appearances in the Premier League last season. Okay. Featuring from the bench against Man City and Crystal Palace. In the final 2 months of the campaign. He was also utilised as a late substitute twice in Europa Conference. Right, so he's played twice in the Premier League, including Man City, treble winners at the time, and twice in Europe as well. Of course, we will be in Europe. Is he going to be second striker behind Nico Jackson? Maybe he is going to be the one of the two attackers. I just don't know. Kellyman did sign a new long-term contract with Villa last October. He's been capped by England at youth level after switching his international allegiance from Northern Ireland in 2023. He's made his under 20 debut for England this month. Little update as well from Matt Law on it. He's saying Chelsea have not dropped their interest in John Duran, but are taking time over making background checks and discussing personal terms with the Colombian, while also checking on other targets. So Chelsea, are kind of going for it, like in terms of really playing the field. Many people will be frustrated by that. I mean, I think it's just doing your job properly, innit? Due diligence, proper checking the shelves, seeing what's going on, making sure you read the label of the product so you know everything about it. Oh, it's got gluten in. Can't have that. Can't think of an analogy as a footballer. But you know what I'm saying. Look, John Duran he's 20. Like, John Duran's young. He's 20. And this other kid is 18. What's his name? Omari Kellyman. He looks very... And, I mean, look, I'm looking at 2 pictures of them now. Let me just quickly share screen with you guys to show you. Because there's 2 years between them. But it just shows you how 2 years can make a big difference. So this is obviously John Duran. He is... big boy. He's a big, tall Colombian. Do you know what I mean? He's like really direct, good at heading, very, fast and strong. And then, yeah. He's young. He's a petite frame. He's got to fill out, this kid. I mean, who would you rather want leading line for Chelsea? My guy? Or my son? So, yeah. No, it might prove to be genius. I don't know. Some, like I said yesterday, and I'll maintain the point, we've had some hits in terms of transfers, but I must say it's quite peculiar. The question will remain, is this going to be the one of 2 attackers that Chelsea sign, I mean, it sounds like a winger and a striker for the first team, because we just sign kids regardless. There's just children constantly flocking to Cobham and Stamford Bridge, and then like they don't count apparently, despite spending significant money on them. Whether this is the reported striker or not, I don't know. It does make you think though. This really, really does make you think that Chelsea should be fine financially, because all this like incessant, relentless talk about profit and sustainability rules, financial fair play rules, with Chelsea falling foul, surely they're falling foul. How are they doing this? We're just like, yeah, maybe buying, 50, 60 million pound Olise. That was that kid from Villa. Just give him 20 million. Come over here, mate. Yeah, we're still looking at like other wingers and strikers. We'll probably buy a goalkeeper at some point. Oh yeah, left back. Yeah, we could buy a left back. What's going on? Look, we're baffling from the outside, but they maintain their position, Chelsea, there. Everything's chill. And they're buying players. I mean, people, I saw on Twitter X, people are upset about this. I mean, if he's good, I'm not going to be upset about Chelsea. I said, again, I can't remember where I said this, but I'm never going to be upset about Chelsea buying talented footballers. And this is like old Chelsea as well, like, best part of 20 years ago Chelsea. We used to hoover up talent all the time, And if they're good, we play them, and as long as we're not breaking any rules. And the truth is, like, our team, right, our squad, is pretty good. I was saying this yesterday. I was thinking about the attackers that we've got. Like Jackson's good. He's good. I'm happy with him. Palmer's amazing. Noni Madueke is good. Mudryk needs work and the jury's out. Again, I still think Sterling will be good for Maresca, even if he hasn't got a long-term career at Chelsea. We've got an insane midfield. Caicedo and Fernandes are amazing world-class players. Lavia is meant to be insane. Gallagher probably will stay for next season anyway, the way I see it. Whether he'll end up going on a free or not, I don't know. But he's a really helpful midfielder. The aforementioned Carney Chukwuemeka, I'd love him to go on a great loan, but we've got so much talent. Reece James fit, Malo Gusto backing him up, Cucurella playing like an absolute superstar in the Euros as a left back. We've got a plethora of centre-backs, and we're still going to bring in a really good one, maybe even two. Like, the squad's good. I'm not worried about the squad, and because of that, I don't care if we're buying talented superstar teenagers if we're not breaking any rules. And provided that's the case and we're not breaking any rules, you shouldn't get wound up by it either, What if one of these kids we buy is going to be a superstar and Chelsea look like geniuses in 3 or 4 years' time for picking him up when everyone was moaning that we signed him? Just something to consider, yeah? As always, though, I put it out to you guys. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for all the support and nice messages. You can follow me on Instagram if you're interested, @FootballYannick. I do have a other YouTube channel as well called Football Yannick, where I talk non-Chelsea. If you're interested in this man talking non-Chelsea football stuff, that is. And yeah, all right, peace. I'm out.